Hi, I'm Jennifer. Okay, the first thing I decided to make here was a fruit cake, a German fruit cake. And usually they're made in or on large cookie sheets or in the baking pans. I'm cutting the recipe down by 4, and we're going to see how this works. Now, first of all, let's go over this. I've got a good tablespoonful of sugar, 15 grams, a half a teaspoon of yeast, a quarter of a cup of lukewarm milk, a cup of flour, 125 grams worth of flour. It asked for a half an egg, and I've got an extra egg yolk, so I'm going to use that instead. 20 grams of butter, and we're going to mix that up. The first thing we're going to do is proof the yeast in the milk. Okay, so now I have a good head of foam, let's see on this, and I'm going to add this to the flour, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar. I have some butter to drizzle on this. There we go. My egg yolk. And I'm going to stir it up. The nice thing about a lot of these recipes, once you make them in such a small quantity, you can actually do most of the mixing by hand. And that's also very practical if you're camping, RVing, or at a vacation house. I like to use this. This is a typical German recipe for the Boden, or the bottom layer of a fruit cake or streusel cake, or it could have some custard on top, and sometimes it just has cinnamon sugar and cream on top of it. So, out of all of those ingredients, I have a ball of dough about the size, fits in the palm of my hand, and it's smooth and shiny, and it doesn't stick to the sides of the bowl anymore. Here we have the risen dough, considerably larger than my hand now. I've already sprayed the pan. So I'm stretching this out to fill the 6x9 pan that I have. Like that. And then I have some apricots. And these were frozen last year, so they're giving off a little water. I'm going to drain that off. And when you put on the apricots, you'll probably need a couple dozen. Fresh apricots are very, very nice. I'd do that. But you definitely, in this kind of cake, are going to overlap them a lot, many times. At least by half, okay. And fill up the whole area. Then when they bake into a juice, and the juice bakes into a thicker juice, and it can be very delicious. The last thing I want to do for this is make streusel for the top of it. I have 90 grams, or about 3/4 of a cup of flour. I'm going to turn on my oven too. And 1/4 of a cup of sugar, and because I like it, I'm going to put a little cinnamon in there. Not too much. And 4 ounces of butter. Pull that off with here, which I've cut up into various pieces, and you do this with your hands. I'm doing it in the same bowl that I have the dough in because it doesn't matter. Now I have about 1.5 cups of streusel, crumbly, you could call it shortbread cookie dough, and it's going to go on top of the cake. Let's see, this might be a little much, but I really like it. I really like it sweet. And some German bakers will not put anything on top of the fruit and just let it cook in its own juice. or you could put coarse sugar on top of the fruit. Okay, so there I have enough streusel on top. And this is going to go into the oven for about 40 minutes. And here we have the finished cake, just hot out of the oven.